Well, given that we've lost 18% of our agricultural land in the last 30 years to national parks and urban encroachment, and the best arable land in Queensland only takes up 4% of it. 4% of that land, that should be protected from any sort of mining or coal seam gas, because that's all we've got. And once that's gone, we'll be importing food. Simple as that.
Well, essentially, I think it just cannot interfere with cropping operations and even grazing. I don't think a farmer should be able to produce what he was able to produce. It shouldn't be a handout from mining companies to supplement what he was producing, because every meal that you take off the global food bowl is a meal lost.
I guess, we haven't had it come on our price, but the fear is always there that they're going to turn up at your door and say, we'll be onto your property in 10 days' time exploring, and here's your rights, and you'll do what we say.
We were first approached by one mining company with a sort of checkered history further east of here, and they wanted to build a pipeline diagonally across our property as their first step in getting a pipeline up to Gladstone. And that it created a lot of angst for a lot of people. You've got to understand that farming country, whilst it is run like a business, it's also very sentimental to a lot of people, because it's not just their business, it's also where their home is, it's also where they've raised their kids, and for many people it's multi-generational as well. Myself being 5th generation on this piece of land in particular, we didn't really want to see it destroyed by mining, and so we put options to the company to go around or go onto our less productive land, and they sort of didn't want to have a bar of it because that would be a greater impost to them, even though it would make far more sense, and we would have been able to work with them had they have done that. So we sort of launched a campaign and got all the neighbours together, and we fought against that company on using social media, using politicians, using every sort of avenue that was available to us. And eventually, after about 3 or 4 years of fighting and many sleepless nights on behalf of myself and a lot of the neighbours, they saw the light and decided to move. Trying to live with a company that's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whilst we're trying to live in this area and farm this area to the most productive method possible, if they tried to put gas wells in the middle of our crops, there'd be massive implications as to how much we can sort of produce in that area.
I know there's been agreements out west where the coal seam companies have done deals where they'll put the wells on the grazing country, but not on the cultivation. We don't have any spare land here in the inner downs where it's highly intensively farmed, and there's no room for them. It's a fully occupied area, and there's plenty of gas everywhere else, and we just think that 4% should be protected.
I think to date there's been a failure in that regard, but as the policies are coming forward and as the agricultural voice is getting stronger, I think we are finally getting to a place where the two will be able to coexist, but there's a lot of work that has to go into that, and we're not there yet.